With AMAC and Real America's Voice. Go ahead, scan the QR code now. Real America's Voice is growing, and now it's all in one place. Introducing the new and improved RAV app, built for access, community, and choice, not paywalls. Here's the key. RAV is still free to watch. No sign-in, no membership required. Your favorite live streams, breaking coverage, and video on demand are all right there. Free, just like always.
For the War Room Posse, we have to be a force multiplier on this. We have to stick the landing.
In the White House, in the Oval Office, you're
Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Stinchfield. You would think when you testify before Congress, it's not like going into war. But for Attorney General Pam Bondi, that's exactly what she experienced today. And she did not bow down to the grenades being lobbed at her by the Democrats.
They don't like the answer, Chairman,
my time.
because it's honest. So he asked a 4-minute question.
Restore 45 seconds, Mr. Nadler, please, Mr. Chairman.
Answer.
You can let her filibuster all day long, but not on our watch. Not on our time. No way. And I told you about that, Attorney General, before you started.
You don't tell me.
Yeah, I did tell you because we saw what you did in the Senate.
You're a lawyer, not even a lawyer.
Committee will be in order.
Loser lawyer to Jamie Raskin is who she was talking about. You're not even a lawyer, she says. Nice job, Madam Attorney General. And how about Jerry Nadler? I reclaim my time. I reclaim what? To eat more Twinkies? That's what you need more time for. Clearly it wasn't to come up with anything smart to say. But this is what she was up against. It was all about Trump, nonstop. Trump and Epstein and Russia and anything they could do to come up with something to slam the President of the United States, and she fought back.
How many perpetrators are you even investigating?
First, you showed it. I find it.
How many have you indicted?
Excuse me. I'm going to answer the question.
I answer my question.
No, I'm going to answer the question the way I want to answer the question.
No,
Your
you're going to answer the question the way I asked it.
Chairman Jordan, I'm not going to get in the gutter with these people, but I'm going to answer the question.
How many of you?
So, while she's fighting to speak, they don't want to let her answer questions, which is typical for the Democrats when a Republican comes in, especially a member of President Trump's inner circle. They don't want to let her speak. But when she had time to speak, when the Republicans were questioning her, she let the world know exactly what we voted for.
You sit here and you attack the president, and I am not going to have it. I'm not going to put up with it. You know, all they want to do, the American people need to know this. They are talking about Epstein today. This has been around since the Obama administration. This administration released over 3 million pages of documents, over 3 million. And Donald Trump signed that law to release all of those documents. He is the most transparent president in the nation's history. And none of them ask Merrick Garland over the last 4 years one word about Jeffrey Epstein. How ironic is that? You know why? Because Donald Trump, the Dow right now is over. The Dow is over $50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. You're a great stock trader, as I hear, Raskin. The Dow is over 50,000 right now. The S&P at almost 7,000. and the NASDAQ smashing records. Americans' 401ks and retirement savings are booming. That's what we should be talking about.
Well, that's not what they want to talk about, because that's called success. That's called promises made, promises kept. That's what we're getting from this administration, and she did a great job spelling it out. So why do they level just baseless attacks? Because the Democrats today have literally zero ideas on how to move America forward. They have no policy positions other than figuring out a way to get government to pay voters to vote for them in the way of handouts. That's their policy position. Throw money at people and hope they vote for us. When it comes to real ideas and real solutions, the Democrats have none of it. All they have is a bunch of griping and baseless accusations, like from Hank Johnson.
As we have said multiple times,
protection of the identity
of all victims
of the victims
are
is
protected.
So very
who are
important.
Protected under. Do you want me to answer, or do you want to interrupt?
Well, because you're not answering the question. You do a Jekyll and Hyde kind of routine around here, and I just want you to answer my questions.
What does Jekyll and Hyde mean? Can you explain that?
Well, it means you're nice to the Republicans and you turn like Hyde on Democrats.
You know, I've got a question for Hank Johnson. Do you think Guam is going to capsize if we put too many members of our military on the island of Guam? You idiot! That's what he's famous for, thinking that Guam will capsize. And he has no business asking anybody any questions as big a dope as he is. Now, when it comes to the illegal aliens and the issue of rounding up those that need to be deported, I'm going to tell you right now, these Democrats, they are sick individuals, sick and anti-American.
We need people working in the front lines and local law enforcement to protect our citizens from the worst of the worst. The worst of the worst are not the immigrants. The worst of the worst, records show, are native-born Americans.
Oh, and by the way, the worst of the worst are Americans? What are you doing here then? Why do you want to represent us if the worst of the worst are Americans? You tell that to Laken Riley and all the others that have been killed at the hands of violent illegal aliens. I'm not saying every illegal alien is a violent individual, but they're far worse in numbers than American citizens. Don't sit there on that pedestal and call Americans the worst of the worst. You're a loser too, Steve Cohen. She did have backup, and this was good. Congressman from right here where we broadcast from in North Texas, Brandon Gill, had a few pointed, directed questions for Pam Bondi.
Did the Biden-Harris DOJ allow Jack Smith to spy on over a dozen Republican members of Congress?
Absolutely.
Did the Biden-Harris DOJ seize the phone of a sitting Republican congressman?
Yes.
Did the Biden-Harris DOJ and Jack Smith pay at least $20,000 to confidential human sources to provide information on President Trump?
At least.
At least. Did the Biden-Harris DOJ and FBI fail to apprehend the suspect who placed pipe bombs near the Capitol ahead of January 6th?
Yes.
Did the Biden-Harris DOJ target parents as domestic terrorists?
Absolutely.
Which leads me to my next question. All of that is true, all of that under the Biden administration, and yet we are still waiting for retribution. We are still waiting for someone to pay for their crimes. I want to know where the DOJ is on all of that. Well, someone who got to watch today's hearing, our Secretary of Retribution himself, former Green Beret and constitutional attorney, Lieutenant Colonel retired Ivan Raiklin, is back with us. Colonel, great to have you on.
Great to be back always, Grant.
I guess, Colonel, first off, I'll ask you, what did you make of today's hearing?
Yeah, so I mean, just to kind of contextualize it, I'll say this, that this Department of Justice is much better than what the previous one was, because the last one just weaponized against us, investigated us until they could find a crime, and they would have continued down that warpath. We would have been all in jail. But having said that, I think there were some missed opportunities today. Rule number one in the Green Berets, I like to say, is always keep your cool. And I think while there were some instances where Pam Bondi was appropriately pushing back against the Democrats in total, I think there were some occasions where it didn't need to go that aggressive in order to make the point. Another thing that I wanted to mention is that there were some occasions where, like, two really good points that she made. One was when I believe it was Jim Jordan asked her whether or not the criminal referral that he sent over on John Brennan would be actioned by Pam Bondi.
All right.
Finally,
hold on 1 second.
she said
hold on 1 second, because you asked for that clip. Let's play the clip and then get you to talk about it. Roll that.
The same officer said when he approached the director and asked that the director refused to remove it after being explained this wasn't good, with the dossier's many flaws, he said, yes, but doesn't it ring true? So this is John Brennan using that document to change intelligence community assessment, which I think led to all the stuff we've seen over the last decade. And I think this committee in the country, Congress in the country, like to know if Mr. Brennan is going to be indicted.
What I can confirm is that we have received a referral from you, Chairman Jordan, to investigate John Brennan. His attorneys have made some public statements, but the department is still bound, of course, by our longstanding policy of not discussing matters. What I will say today, I can't confirm nor deny whether there is a pending investigation, but what I will say is no one is above the law.
Mr. Chairman,
weaponization has ended.
Right,
Colonel,
weaponization.
I like the last line.
I do like the last line, but we've heard that line for the last year plus. I've heard a lot of lines. And so while I am hopeful, I'm not going to trust anybody in our government because, let's just face it, for over a decade, our government, whether it's Trump 1.0 or the Biden criminal syndicate or now Trump 2.0, we have not seen any accountability yet in a substantive manner. So while these hearings are great in order to change the opinion of society of these people need to be criminalized for their criminal behavior, or I should say held to account, we haven't seen anything yet. And so wasn't it supposed to be in January that the RICO case and the grand jury was going to bring us something back? That was a month ago. And we've been demanding this for over a year. And so I'm hopeful. But on one other point is on the Epstein front, I felt that there was a missed opportunity. Remember that Stacey Plaskett was receiving text messages, and this is something that Congressman Andy Biggs mentioned. I think there was somebody else. I mean, Attorney General Pam Bondi could have really focused in on how the Democrat Hakeem Jeffries was interacting with Mr. Epstein, Stacey Plaskett, and then additionally some evidence that was released about how President Trump himself called local police to basically throw out Jeffrey Epstein from Mar-a-Lago. I just feel as though instead of trying to move on, there's a way to address the Epstein issue in a substantive way that kind of changes the animosity between the Thomas Massie crowd and the Donald Trump crowd, where the way I see it, while there is that friction, both are trying to accomplish the same thing, which is transparency. But because they have that personal animosity and friction, it's getting in the way. And I almost feel as though Massie is winning the argument because of the way he's presenting it. And he doesn't need to be winning the argument. It's a winning argument for the president. And I think if the rhetoric is toned down and he could distinguish the Massie angle with the end state of transparency and then accountability, I think everybody wins.
It's obviously a difficult job for the attorney general there, as you got Democrats literally yelling at her, and so that's got to be very.
I felt that from Mr. Fanone. I kept my cool.
You did. You're also a trained Green Beret, and you also are well schooled in the art of not just physical warfare, but mental warfare as well. And look, I'm not sure Pam Bondi has had the same training you have, Colonel, but you did hold your cool with Fanone. Let me play one more clip from you. This was Jack Smith, Andy Biggs talking about Jack Smith, cut 13.
And my question has always been, and no one's been able to answer this, is what was the legal predicate for using a foreign intelligence authority in the Arctic Frost investigation? Have you been able to ascertain any legal predicate?
Congressman, what I can tell you today is that has been referred to my office. I can't discuss anything regarding that because it is very active and ongoing.
I think there was so much abuse of power, Colonel, that many of these people are criminally liable for what happened. I'll give you the last word there again. It was referred to the office. We want to see something, if you can, 15, 20 seconds.
Yeah, I would have loved to see her calmly respond to the Democrats and the Republicans in the same tone and demeanor, because I think everybody's kind of knows where we're at in this situation, and really focus more in on that. For example, I received the criminal referrals from Anna Paulina Luna on the Biden criminal syndicate. I received the Jim Comer Oversight Committee criminal referrals. I received your criminal referrals, Jim Jordan. And under Department of Justice policy, we can't discuss it, but I can assure you that we are processing those criminal referrals. I think that would have been the appropriate way to cover it. And I think she did say that at the end of the day. So I'm very hopeful after today's hearing.
All right. Well, that's what we like to hear. Lieutenant Colonel Ivan Raiklin.
And I'm very critical.
Thank you, buddy, our Secretary of Retribution. He is very critical. He is. Even of me, if I don't get something right, he'll let me know about it. That's why we love you, brother. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks, Grant. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. Right back at you. It was not just at a federal level either, by the way, that Democrats spew this crazy nonsense. You know, in state houses across the country, this goes on, including right here in my home state of Texas. I don't know if you heard this, but these Democrats are not only inept, they're delusional, they're also racist. This is I'll just call him a dude by the name of Gene Wu. He's a state representative, Democrat, of course. Listen to what he has to say.
I always tell people the day the Latino, African-American, Asian, and other communities realize that they share the same oppressor is the day we start winning. Because we are the majority in this country now. We have the ability to take over this country and to do what is needed for everyone.
What does that mean, take over the country? We're the oppressors? I'm not oppressing anybody. I do a show on here, you can listen to me or not. If you don't listen to me, I don't care, turn the channel. What is the oppression all about? That guy is an elected state representative, and I think he should account for those comments. So does Texas State House Representative Republican Brian Harrison. He sent a letter to the Speaker of the Texas House demanding that Wu be removed from his committee assignments. I want to bring in now Brian Harrison to the program. It's great to have you back on, sir. Welcome. Well, Brian, are you on mute? If you are, if you could unmute yourself.
Oh, there we go. Can you hear me, Grant?
I gotcha.
Great. Sorry about that.
I was saying, welcome to the program, my friend. You want him taken off his committee assignments. Tell me the process here if this was to go through.
Yeah. Well, here's the real thing, Grant. This Gene Wu scandal is actually far worse than just about anybody in the media understands. And I'm happy to break a lot of this here on your show for America to Learn tonight. These comments that my colleague, Gene Wu, made, he didn't just make these comments. These are comments that people are just now learning about. He made these comments 2 years ago. He made these comments in 2024. And after he made these facially racist, discriminatory, outrageous comments, calling basically all white people oppressors and using language that arguably could be interpreted to be inciting violence against white people, what happened? He becomes elected the chairman. He's not some irrelevant backbencher in the Democrat caucus. He was the elected now in 2025, a year after he said this, chairman of the Texas House Democratic Caucus. He is the leader of the entire Democrat caucus in the Texas House, and then was instrumental in forming the coalition that elected the so-called Republican Speaker of the Texas House. The Republican Speaker of the Texas House was the candidate put up by the House Democrat Caucus, chaired by Gene Wu. And after the Speaker got elected, Gene Wu, who had said these comments the year before, got rewarded for helping elect the Speaker. He was given more committee assignments than a lot of conservative Republicans were in the House. 4 committees, 4 committees, 2 subcommittees, and worse. After he made these comments, he was awarded by being appointed the vice chairman of the Criminal Jurisprudence Committee in the Texas House. So that's right. All crime law, all criminal legislation in the state of Texas has to go through Gene Wu as the vice chairman of the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. And by the way, I tweeted out this morning, he's also said in the past, again, before he got this appointment, this is about a quote from Gene Wu, give or take a word or two. He said, "I don't think any adult men or women can be alone with children children without, quote, it getting weird. This is a far left radical Democrat progressive who may be a whole lot of other things that I can't talk about on the show. Right. He is literally in House leadership in the Republican-dominated Texas House, and I think he never should have had these leadership assignments. He never should have had these committee assignments, and I did formally write a letter to the Speaker asking that he immediately be stripped of all of his House leadership positions that, quite frankly, he never should have had in the first place.
We've talked about this problem in the Texas State House. You know, Texas is a deep red state, and the Democrats have basically hijacked it by forming these coalitions. But basically, this is the equivalent of like Hakeem Jeffries voting for Speaker Johnson in Congress. You're not going to see that happen, but in Texas, you do. So this guy voted for the Republican, so-called Republican Speaker of the House. Nothing will be done over this. There's been a lot of talk on this on conservative circles. Is there any local media in Texas holding Wu to account here? Because it's going to take local media in Texas to make any difference here.
Well, I'm doing absolutely everything I can. I've been talking to local media and local reporters and trying to spread the story as far and wide as I possibly can. But honestly, I think the bigger question is why the total silence from elected Republican leaders in the state of Texas. I mean, this kind of thing, as you mentioned, would never happen in Washington, D.C. I mean, imagine if, Kevin Brady had struck a deal with Hakeem Jeffries to get all of the House Democrats to support him with a handful of Republicans. I mean, there'd be no Republican in America would stand for that. But that nightmare scenario is what we've been living with in Texas. Okay, the deep red Republican state that reelected President Trump with a 14-point margin. I think it's the biggest form of voter fraud, which is a small handful of Republicans in the Texas House, so-called Republicans, realize that if they go and join forces with the entire House Democratic caucus led by Gene Wu, they can elect the leadership team in the Texas House, and therefore the Republican leadership in the Texas House is beholden to Gene Wu because it was Gene Wu's House Democrat caucus that elected the Republican leadership team. It's a massive scandal, and I'm doing everything I can to spread the word. And I'm very grateful for you, Grant. You're here in God's country in the great state of Texas, and you're one of the few members of the national media that understands the type of subterfuge and betrayal of the conservative voters of the state of Texas that are being perpetrated at the hands of supposed Republicans down in the Austin Uniparty.
The bottom line is if we lose Texas, we lose this country. Amen. And all of this really has national implications, including Gene Wu on a major committee in Texas. I appreciate you, as always, for calling this nonsense out from both sides of the aisle, which all we really are about is the truth and freedom and making sure we're driving this state and this country in the right direction. Brian Harrison, thank you, as always.
Always great to be with you, my friend. God bless you, and God bless Texas.
Absolutely, right back at you. Real quick, folks, I don't know if you heard about this. We had another mass shooting, this one in British Columbia, Canada. So outrageous the way police respond to this. This was an 18-year-old who went into a school that he dropped out of, killed 6 people in the school after killing his mother and stepbrother. And we got to go, guys. Put it up on the screen if you can for me. Thank you. That's him, transgender, okay? Transgender shooter, and this is how the police refer to him.
That includes the deceased gun person.
Okay. And then separately, do you know the gun person's relationship to
the deceased gun person? Yes, he took his own life. The gun person, he's a gunman. He was born a man. He may dress up as a woman. He is a man. It gets worse. Listen to this from police.
And we're not hiding it. In fact, you're the first media to ask the question. I will say this. We identified the suspect as they chose to be identified in public and in social media. I can say that Jesse was born as a biological male who approximately, in the information that I have, approximately 6 years ago began to transition to female and identified as female both socially.
You're just as mentally insane as the shooter is. You identify a mass shooter by the pronouns that he wants to be identified by? He just shot and killed 8 people. Wake up, Canada. But this craziness is going on in the United States as well. All right, Patriot Mobile isn't just a wireless provider. They're an activist organization funded by selling top-tier cell phone service. They've been on the front lines of defending our freedoms for a very long time, way before it was even cool. It's always been cool. Standing in the gap when others wouldn't. That's Patriot Mobile. The best part is they deliver prioritized premium service on all 3 major U.S. networks, giving you the same or even better coverage, backed by 100% U.S.-based customer support. Get unlimited data plans, mobile hotspots, international roaming, and so much more. Switching is easier than ever. Activate in minutes. Keep your number, keep your phone, or upgrade. Take a stand today. Go to patriotmobile.com/RAV or call 972-PATRIOT. Use that promo code RAV for a free month of service. All right, a black glove has been recovered about 1.5 miles from Nancy Guthrie's home. The investigation crawls into its 11th day. Next.
This holiday season, Real America's Voice is proud to partner with our friends at Angel Studios for a special giveaway you won't want to miss. As they launch Season 2 of their hit series Homestead, we're giving you the chance to win an exclusive Homestead hat absolutely free. Everyone who becomes an Angel Guild member using our link is automatically entered to the contest. When you join, you're supporting meaningful pro-American storytelling, and you're supporting RAV at the same time. Scan the QR code on your screen right now, or text the word RAVAngel to 75802. After you scan or text, make sure you follow the steps provided. When you complete the steps and join the Angel Guild, you'll be automatically entered to win that exclusive Homestead hat, a perfect holiday gift for yourself or someone you love.
Be one of the first 50 people to sign up and win a hat automatically. Hurry while there's still time.
So scan that QR code or text RAVAngel to 75802. Happy holidays from all of us at RAV.
At Real America's Voice, we know that you want to be a part of something bigger. That's why we've teamed up with AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens, to build a real community of folks who care about faith and our country's future.
There is no force on earth that can stop us from saving our country.
Want to be a part of this movement? It's easy. Just scan the QR code on your screen right now. That's right. Grab your phone and scan the QR code to join the AMAC and Real America's Voice family today. By scanning the QR code, you'll unlock exclusive content, connect with like-minded Americans, and be first in line for events that celebrate our shared values. So don't wait. Scan the QR code. Join us today and become part of a community that stands for faith, family, and freedom.
Real rights, they come from God.
With AMAC and Real America's Voice. Go ahead. Scan the QR code now.
Lazar Garcianovich here from Japan. Love Real America's Voice, real news, honest views, and love seeing everyone there. God bless America.
My name is Tina, and I'm in Dallas, Texas. I'm so grateful to be able to get my news from an organization like Real America's Voice, whose conservative values align with my own.
Hi, I'm Bridgie, and why do I love RAV? Well, even out here in the cornfields of Iowa, I still need news I can depend on. That is Real America's Voice.
Today's show host Savannah Guthrie's mother, Nancy, is still missing. We go now into the 11th day of an alleged kidnapping. I don't think she was kidnapped. I really don't. I think the kidnapping's a hoax, and I think she was murdered and dropped someplace. That is my speculation now. You're looking at on your screen is investigators found a black glove. The New York Post was there when it happened. This black glove looks very similar to the gloves the suspect was wearing on that Ring camera video, if you may remember, that you see on your screen there. There's the black glove right there. Now, all of this comes after a man was taken into custody, detained yesterday. We had great hopes this may have been a big break in the case. Not so much. They released him. This is him talking to the media.
Okay.
I was detained the whole time.
Okay,
that's what they told me.
Where were they
At
holding
the back
you?
of a car.
Back of a
Miranda car, and then they moved me into a Pima County Sheriff.
Were you being questioned in the car?
At the Miranda car, I was being questioned, but they only asked me for my first name, my last name, my date of birth, and my social.
Okay. What were they asking you about?
My whereabouts.
All right, so he says not the guy. They let him go, obviously. Now, what I'm more concerned about here is the leak to the media that they had someone detained. This is normal for an investigation this size. They could detain dozens of people and talk to them if that's where the investigation leads. And when you have a leak like that in a high-profile case like this, then needlessly, the department gets criticized. Now, Kash Patel says, the director of the FBI, they have a huge number of leads and even possible people they're looking at. This was him on Hannity.
I will say we have made substantial progress in these last 36, 48 hours thanks to the technical capabilities of the FBI and our partnerships. And I do believe we are looking at people who, as we say, are persons of interest. But as you know, with any investigation, you are a person of interest until you're either eliminated or you're actually found to be the culprit or the culprits involved.
They may be getting closer. Now, take a look at this picture of the suspect and his firearm. I thought about this for a while. That is a picture of the suspect with the firearm. I'm trying to see it there. I can't see it on my screen, but it's hanging down just along his waist. It's a very amateur way to wear a firearm. In fact, I used to work for the NRA. I've trained with police. I've never seen anybody wear a gun like that. It's like they're an Indian squaw trying to cover up their private parts with their firearm. It makes no sense, which then tells me that someone just grab a gun, not know how to even carry it, and go and ultimately do who knows what to Nancy. I want to bring in now former FBI special agent and author of A Cop's Son, Kenneth Strange, is back with us. Kenneth, great to have you back on the program.
Hi, Grant. Thanks for having me back.
Kenneth, since we've last talked, are you leading one way or the other on this case?
Well, I'm afraid to commit myself. 24 hours ago, we had the video out, and the case was building momentum. Kind of reminded me of the Brown University shooting, at the end of the case. Then there's the detention of this young man, and then bust. We're back to the video, back to kind of square one. But at least it's a good square because that video is still a gold mine.
What do you think about my assessment of the way this creep is wearing the firearm? I've never seen someone wear a firearm directly underneath their belly button, hanging from their waist.
No, you're absolutely right. Nor have I. And in fact, I think that the weapon and the holster are mismatched on top of all that. So no, this person appears to be an amateur. And the gloves, it looks like he's going to a boxing match or something. He seemed very tentative, not sure of himself, not a professional.
All right. Now there's the issue of the ransom note. There's been very little communication between the alleged kidnapper and the family, ultimately going through TMZ. TMZ and Harvey Levin said they got another note, this time from someone who says, hey, I know who the suspect is. And they said, please send 1 Bitcoin to another crypto address. But Harvey Levin raised an interesting point. Check this out.
Around $56,000 now, 1 Bitcoin, which is about the amount that the authorities are offering for information leading to the return of Nancy. So I don't know if that aligns, but whoever sent this, and they actually give a name and an email address, but whoever sent this is asking for around that amount.
Why would you ask for 1 Bitcoin? Harvey was a little off. It's about $66,000 today, but the FBI reward is $50,000. You might as well just drop a dime on the suspect. That doesn't make any sense. I think all these ransoms and I know the suspect sent Bitcoin. I think it's all a hoax.
I think you're absolutely right. I think what these people are doing, there might be various people now. These are opportunists who are just trying to cash in, or either for fame, celebrity, or in the hopes that somebody may send them some money. But no, I agree with you. It's a total scam. And the problem is now the investigation will waste so much time and so many resources on covering these leads because, well, they have to. So no, I don't believe, and it takes away from the investigation, and it's actually dangerous.
Yeah, I was told they've gotten over 14,000 phone calls now about this case. Most of them coming after the video of that suspect on the Nest camera was released. You had this issue of the leak, Kenneth Strange. And they had a guy in custody. Now they're getting criticized for it not being the guy. They don't deserve criticism for it, but they do deserve criticism for the leak. I worry you're going to start to see anger, frustration, dissension amongst the ranks, and maybe even some interagency dissension here. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, that's all possible. But, this is the balancing act, and it's very delicate that law enforcement has got to play with the public. They're going to, just give out so much information, but they have to be careful that they don't, harm the integrity of the investigation. If they withhold information, if everything we see is truncated, the truncated version, and that the blackout, let's say a blackout continues, the public is going to lose faith. And that's the last thing you want, is for the public to lose faith in law enforcement, because we need tips more than ever, especially now.
Yeah. I remember a case that I covered in Dallas. The cops actually gave us on purpose the wrong lake that they were searching. And they actually sent a search team out there to send the media off in the wrong place so they could go to another place and hold it secret from the suspect. It was pretty interesting stuff. So, look, I know the cops are well-intentioned, but the information they give us, not always what's happening, not always everything, is it?
No, absolutely. I mean, that kind of goes with the territory, but you have to, again, it's this delicate balancing act, and the problem is, you have diverse components working together, and this is such a high-profile case, and you wonder how many hours of sleep are these people getting. So, there are going to be some mistakes.
Yeah, there sure are. Former FBI special agent, author of the book A Cop's Son, good friend of this program, Kenneth Strange. Always good to see you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely. All right, folks. There is a hullabaloo out in an East Plano, Texas Islamic center when a Republican candidate who happens to be Muslim tells the truth about Sharia law. Wait till you see how this goes down. That candidate joins us next.
This holiday season, Real America's Voice is proud to partner with our friends at Angel Studios for a special giveaway you won't want to miss. As they launch season 2 of their hit series Homestead, we're giving you the chance to win an exclusive Homestead hat absolutely free. Everyone who becomes an Angel Guild member using our link is automatically entered to the contest. When you join, you're supporting meaningful pro-American storytelling, and you're supporting RAV at the same time. Scan the QR code on your screen right now, or text the word RAVAngel to 75802. After you scan or text, make sure you follow the steps provided. When you complete the steps and join the Angel Guild, you'll be automatically entered to win that exclusive Homestead hat, a perfect holiday gift for yourself or someone you love.
Be one of the first 50 people to sign up and win a hat automatically. Hurry while there's still time.
So scan that QR code or text RAVAngel to 75802. Happy holidays from all of us at RAV.
At Real America's Voice, we know that you want to be a part of something bigger. That's why we've teamed up with AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens. to build a real community of folks who care about faith and our country's future.
There is no force on earth that can stop us from saving our country.
Want to be a part of this movement? It's easy. Just scan the QR code on your screen right now. That's right. Grab your phone and scan the QR code to join the AMAC and Real America's Voice family today. By scanning the QR code, you'll unlock exclusive content, connect with like-minded Americans, and be first in line for events that celebrate our shared values. So don't wait. Scan the QR code. Join us today and become part of a community that stands for faith, family, and freedom.
Real rights, they come from God.
With AMAC and Real America's Voice. Go ahead. Scan the QR code now.
Guthrie Garcianovich here from Japan. Love Real America's Voice, real news, honest views, and love seeing everyone there. God bless America.
My name is Tina, and I'm in Dallas, Texas. I'm so grateful to be able to get my news from an organization like Real America's Voice, whose conservative values align with my own.
Hi, I'm Bridgie. And why do I love Rob? Well, even out here in the cornfields of Iowa, I still need news I can depend on. That is Real America's Voice.
So there is an open seat because of redistricting here in Texas, not far from me, Texas 32. It's in the Dallas area and it heads all the way east. There are 9 candidates running for this very heavily Republican district. One of them is a gentleman by the name of Abteen Vaziri. And he called his own fellow Muslims out at a candidate forum that was heavily populated by local Muslims. Listen to this.
I speak the truth, but I also want to say, as someone whose entire family is Muslim, I'm not down with Sharia law. Sharia law says that women on that side of the room are worth half as much as men. Do you all agree with that? No, that is true. That is 100% true. If I'm wrong, Sharia law says women are worth half as much as men.
All right. They're not happy about this. Now, mind you, this is not far from where that epic city is set to go in, where they want to install Sharia law, install an entire Muslim community. And, in many respects, I believe it is the takeover of America, including Texas. I want to bring in now to discuss all of this Republican candidate for Texas, Congress in Texas. Abteen Vaziri is with us. Abteen, it's great to have you on the program.
Grant, it's great to be with you. I wanted to clarify something. I'm not a Muslim. I was born a Muslim, unfortunately. My entire family has always hated Islam due to what it did to my country of birth. My dad just cursed out every single prophet in Islam and just absolutely hated Islam. And I was without a religion. I just about a year ago converted to Christianity, and I was actually baptized this past summer. And the Christian faith has opened their arms and accepted me with open arms. And I just want to clarify that. Now, when I made that video, a lot of people in my family.
Abteen, first off, I just want to say God bless you for that. And congratulations. That's terrific. And welcome to the club, my friend. So with your history, though, and background of the Muslim religion, that had to take some guts to call out Sharia law there in front of a room that was basically filled with Muslims.
Absolutely. People in my family were really upset at me because in that video I said my entire family is a Muslim. My sister called me and she said, who in our family is Muslim? No one likes Islam and no one practices Islam. Why did you say that? I said, listen, I was an audience with a lot of people that probably wanted to behead me. So my goal was just to make sure I get out of there alive. And by the way, I did not go there to start anything. I was invited. for a candidate forum to go there. But what was more disgusting, there's a lot of people that are, obviously brainwashed and believe in Sharia, and even the women, they look like they have Stockholm syndrome. And, I'm trying to defend their honor. I'm trying to defend their rights as women, and they're sitting there yelling at me. So they don't know any better. But what really disgusted me is there was actually one Republican candidate there, and then the rest were all Democratic candidates. And these people were saying the most vile anti-American, anti-Israel, anti-everything we stand for, just to peddle a few Muslim votes. And the most disgusting people that were there were the people that were in the panel with me, sitting there peddling these votes. And it was disgusting. Let me just say.
Let me play another clip from the candidate forum of some other comments you made.
My family, they're getting killed, and Israel's the only help they're getting. That's all. So, did you pray for your brothers and sisters? Did you pray for your brothers and sisters in Iraq that are getting murdered? Did you pray? 100,000.
All right, you raised the issue that Israel was actually trying to help Iranian freedom fighters liberate that country. You got booed out of the room. You said they basically surrounded you when you left. Can you tell me that story?
Yeah, it was really interesting. When I was speaking, a lot of boos and hollering, and I brought 5 or 6 Iranian gentlemen with me just to help out, just in case it got out of hand. And those guys were all scared. And we got out, and Dallas Express was nice enough to cover the story. We got in the parking lot, and several people in the parking lot, they were taking, pictures of us. They were taking pictures of our license plates. I know people have harassed my girlfriend trying to add her on Instagram, and I have these names, and, I'll make sure the FBI has these names as well. But, there was people in the parking lot that looked extremely angry. Now, to their credit, there was a couple people that are actually very, very nice. One gentleman came up to me. He was Syrian, and he said, "Let me just tell you, it's not that we're not praying for the people of Iran. We are praying for people of Iran. We're not doing it openly, but we agree the IRGC are murderers." And another Syrian gentleman in the parking lot had a conversation with me, and he was also very nice. So, I want to be fair to say that, not everyone there was hostile and was yelling, and some of them agreed with me. But the genesis of it was that I was trying to make a point that if you're a house of worship, you pray for people, especially, I didn't ask them to pray for Christians. I asked them to pray for 100,000 people that have been murdered at the hands of the Islamic regime in Iran. And those are all Muslims of the same faith. And as Christians, we pray for everybody. When somebody's dead, even your enemies you pray for, because that's the power of forgiveness. That's why Christianity is so important. And I think, by the way, Christianity is the fastest religion growing around. Iran's the fastest growing Christian country, and there's more than 10 million underground Christians. I did a ministry with Iran Alive Ministries into Iran. I'll talk about that later. But my whole point was that if you're not praying for 100,000 people, that essentially it's the Holocaust of Muslims. It's happened in the last 3 weeks. And if you're not praying for those people because of your ideology, then you're not a house of worship. You're a military outpost, and you have a military ideology, because when people are dead, you pray for them. It doesn't matter what their ideology is. Right. So I was trying to make that point, and they proved my point, because they all started yelling and booing and hollering at me and then threatening me. And if my whole thing is, in Iran right now, the Iranian people that are getting slaughtered, they've burned down 40 mosques, and they're continuing to target these mosques. Why are they targeting these mosques? These mosques have mortuaries inside of them, they have jail cells, and they have weapons inside of them. When the IRGC is taking these people and killing them, they're holding them in jail cells inside mosques. So when mosques are basically acting as military outposts, and they're acting as financing arms for CARE and other terrorist organizations, these are not houses of worship. When was the last time you saw a jail cell in a church? When was the last time you saw military weapons in a church? When was the last time you saw people being held prisoner or captive in a church? That's a house of worship. A mosque, the way that they're doing it, that's not a house of worship. That's a military outpost and a financing arm for terrorism.
The reality is they didn't want to hear your message. And I applaud you for standing up and speaking it there, because it is a message that everybody needs to hear. Abteen Vaziri, it's ABTEENVAZIRI.com. That's the website. I know you're running for Congress. I know you want people to visit that site. I urge people to do that. And I appreciate you coming on the program tonight.
Thank you so much. I think we need Republicans that have the guts to go out to Washington and fight, and we can't send rhinos or weak Republicans to go fight. And I encourage people to get involved in the politics and vote out rhinos, because I think rhinos are the biggest threat to our democracy.
Well, you and I agree on that one. That's for sure. And it takes a lot of guts to step up and run for Congress. Like I said, there's 9 other candidates. There's a few people spending millions of dollars of their own money in that race. This is a big-time game, and now Abteen is right in the middle of it. All right, despite a year of skepticism by Democrats and leftist media, President Trump's economy is taking off. That's next.
This holiday season, Real America's Voice is proud to partner with our friends at Angel Studios for a special giveaway you won't want to miss. As they launch season 2 of their hit series Homestead, we're giving you the chance to win an exclusive Homestead hat absolutely free. Everyone who becomes an Angel Guild member using our link is automatically entered to the contest. When you join, you're supporting meaningful pro-American storytelling, and you're supporting RAV at the same time. Scan the QR code on your screen right now, or text the word RAVAngel to 75802. After you scan or text, make sure you follow the steps provided. When you complete the steps and join the Angel Guild, you'll be automatically entered to win that exclusive Homestead hat, a perfect holiday gift for yourself or someone you love.
Be one of the first 50 people to sign up and win a hat automatically. Hurry while there's still time.
So scan that QR code or text RAVAngel to 75802. Happy holidays from all of us at RAV.
At Real America's Voice, we know that you want to be a part of something bigger. That's why we've teamed up with AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens, to build a real community of folks who care about faith and our country's future.
There is no force on earth that can stop us from saving our country.
Want to be a part of this movement? It's easy. Just scan the QR code on your screen right now. That's right. Grab your phone and scan the QR code to join the AMAC and Real America's Voice family today. By scanning the QR code, you'll unlock exclusive content, connect with like-minded Americans, and be first in line for events that celebrate our shared values. So don't wait. Scan the QR code. Join us today and become part of a community that stands for faith, family, and freedom.
Real rights, they come from God.
With AMAC and Real America's Voice. Go ahead. Scan the QR code now.
Lazar Garcianovich here from Japan. Love Real America's Voice, real news, honest views, and love seeing everyone there. God bless America.
My name is Tina, and I'm in Dallas, Texas. I'm so grateful to be able to get my news from an organization like Real America's Voice, whose conservative values align with my own.
Hi, I'm Bridgie. And why do I love Rob? Well, even out here in the cornfields of Iowa, I still need news I can depend on. That is Real America's Voice.
Success in America. You've got to give credit to President Trump and his team. The new job numbers came out, and they are through the roof. They're higher than what anybody expected. We're hiring people left and right. People tell you, oh, I don't feel like. Well, the numbers tell a very different story, that this economy is already, forget about poised for takeoff. We're on the rocket ship ride right now. Here's our Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent.
What's more impressive here is the number that you just gave is the total jobs. There were more than 170,000 private sector jobs, and there was about a 40,000 decrease in government jobs. So as I've been saying since this administration came into office, we are reprivatizing the economy.
I want you to remember, under Joe Biden, anytime they had job numbers coming out, it was an increase in government jobs. Those are not real jobs. Sure, they're real that somebody works there, but this is not what drives an economy. That's not a free market job. You have companies hiring people at $170,000 and a decrease in 40,000 government jobs. That means you decrease the amount of money you're spending in government, increasing the amount of revenue and capital being pushed into the private sector. Again, it is absolutely great stuff. This is Kevin Hassett, the chief economist for President Trump.
One of the stories that everybody's been worried about, I mean, it's actually a legitimate thing to worry about, is that AI was going to take away people's jobs. Well, the top line job number shows that that's not happening. But the other thing you can see is that prime age labor force participation, which is like people's desire to go get a job and to get back into the workforce, went up to the highest level it's been since 2001.
I think it's still too early to tell what the impact of AI will have on the job market. I mean, AI has not really been implemented in very big ways yet. Yeah, people use it like Google, but I don't know if companies are now using it to literally move people out yet. We shall see. Okay, we shall see. The other big news today, President Trump signed a big order to basically expand coal production in this country. I have been saying for a long time, count on coal. It's one of the best forms of energy we have, and it is abundant, and we can produce it and burn it in a very clean manner now. This is President Trump talking about that.
4 years of the Biden administration, Sleepy Joe, not a single permit was approved for a new coal mining project. Think of it. 4 years, not one permit. They were all being disapproved, actually. So not a single permit was approved. I didn't know that. But in 1 year of Trump, we've already approved over 70 permits for very big, very powerful mines.
So who does this affect? It affects people like Cale Blackford, a woman that's an Indiana coal miner with her husband, roll cut 4.
When a mine closes, families don't just lose their jobs. They're often forced to leave their communities, their schools, and their support systems behind. The common sense policies to keep coal plants running, implemented by this administration, mean that my husband and I can keep working, stay where we are, and continue raising our son in our community that we call home.
It's about families. It's about America. And I'll tell you, I got a buddy who's got a boat down on the Tennessee River. Before Biden took office, I used to see coal barges going up and down that Tennessee River. Biden takes over, I saw none. 1 or 2 here or there. Let's get back to seeing coal barges on the Tennessee River. I love it. All right, this courageous young patriot is being punished for standing up to the woke Miss America pageant.
This holiday season, Real America's Voice is proud to partner with our friends at Angel Studios for a special giveaway you won't want to miss. As they launch season 2 of their hit series Homestead, we're giving you the chance to win an exclusive Homestead hat absolutely free. Everyone who becomes an Angel Guild member using our link is automatically entered to the contest. When you join, you're supporting meaningful pro-American storytelling, and you're supporting RAV at the same time. Scan the QR code on your screen right now, or text the word RAVAngel to 75802. After you scan or text, make sure you follow the steps provided. When you complete the steps and join the Angel Guild, you'll be automatically entered to win that exclusive Homestead hat, a perfect holiday gift for yourself or someone you love.
Be one of the first 50 people to sign up and win a hat automatically. Hurry while there's still time.
So scan that QR code or text RAVAngel to 75802. Happy holidays from all of us at RAV.
At Real America's Voice, we know that you want to be a part of something bigger. That's why we've teamed up with AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens, to build a real community of folks who care about faith and our country's future.
There is no force on earth that can stop us from saving our country.
Want to be a part of this movement? It's easy. Just scan the QR code on your screen right now. That's right. Grab your phone and scan the QR code to join the AMAC and Real America's Voice family today. By scanning the QR code, you'll unlock exclusive content, connect with like-minded Americans, and be first in line for events that celebrate our shared values. So don't wait. Scan the QR code. Join us today and become part of a community that stands for faith, family, and freedom.
Real rights, they come from God.
With AMAC and Real America's Voice. Go ahead. Scan the QR code now. Now is the moment to put your brand in front of an engaged, loyal audience through Real America's Voice. When you advertise on Real America's Voice, you're not just running an ad, you're partnering with trusted voices like Steve Bannon, Charlie Kirk, and other influential hosts. Backed by millions of monthly listeners.
What's happening? Because of a Real Voice, man. I watch it all the time.
Real America's Voice rocks.
Real America's Voice gives sponsors the chance to put their product front and center, displayed on screen and highlighted by our anchors during exclusive segments and live events.
Head to freetrumpknife.com.
This means your brand becomes part of the conversation as it happens.
Secure your spot before it's too late.
Join us today and make your brand part of the news conversation that America's viewers trust. Real America's Voice, where your message is seen, heard, and remembered.
Welcome back, everyone. So a